Brother Altaf, you can start.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Brother Altaf, your mic is on mute.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. To begin our event today, I would like to welcome Mr. Hamad Hussain to recite few verses from Holy Quran.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Can you hear?
Yes.
Assalamu alaikum.
Yes, Hamad.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وما لي لا أعبد الذي فطرني وإليه ترجعون. أأتخذ من دونه آلهة يردني الرحمن بضر لا تغني عني شفاعتهم شيئا ولا ينقذون. إني إذا لفي ضلال مبين. إني آمنت بربكم فاسمعون. قيل ادخل الجنة قال يا ليت قومي يعلمون بما غفر لي ربي وجعلني من المكرمين. وما أنزلنا على قومه من بعده من جند من السماء وما كنا منزلين. إن قالت إلا صيحة واحدة فإذا هم خامدون. يا عسرة على العباد ما يعتيهم من رسول إلا قالوا به يستهزئون. ألم يروا كم أهلكنا قبلهم من القرون أنهم إليهم لا يرجعون. وإن كل لما جميع لدينا محذرون. صدق الله العظيم.
Jazakallah khairan, Mr. Hamad, for reciting few verses from Quran. And I would like to welcome all on behalf of Zahira University alumni, Mr. Fazul Hamid, Chairman of our College Board of Governors, Mr. Rizvi Marikar, Principal and President of ZUA, Deputy Principal, Mr. Razin Hassan, and Vice Principals, Sectional Heads, Teachers, distinguished old boys of Zahira College, our panelists, Justice Dr. Salim Marzouf, Major Rushdi Hamim, Hamdan Hussain, Attorney at Law, Dr. Akram Muhammad, and Mr. Azri, the man who worked and working still now to make ZUA dreams come true. And then again, our panel members and our participants today. I welcome all of you for today's program, Meet Your Role Model for Advanced Level Art Stream Students, organized by ZUA in collaboration with Zahira Center for Excellence. Alhamdulillah. This is our first program for art stream students. Let's proceed with the agenda now. I would like to welcome our Deputy Principal, Mr. Razin Hassan, to deliver the welcome speech. Over to you, sir.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Respected guest speaker, Justice Salim Marzouf, Major Rushdi Hamim, Brother Hamdan Hussain, Dr. Akram Sheikh Altaf Farooq, and all my dear teachers and children, boys. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Indeed, it's a great pleasure for me to invite all of you and welcome all of you to this Meet Your Role Model program. As you're aware, this is not a first program of this nature. Meet Your Role Model program is a continuous program organized by Center for Excellence, lately in collaboration with ZUA. We used to focus on science stream students. Later, we have discussed with all the stakeholders and said the need is not only for science background students, but also for other stream students also should be included in this program. Before commerce stream students, we thought the need is very much felt for art stream students. Unfortunately, the art stream is the one that is performing relatively low. And though it is deemed to be the easiest stream, for whatever reason, Zahira, the performance of art student is not up to the expectation that we have. One of the reasons might be the lack of motivation, lack of direction among the children. Therefore, we thought to bring people who have excelled through arts field. Now, all of us here, Justice Ali Marsouf or Major Rushdie or Hamdan, all these people are from art stream. And even Zahira, we see, all known or popular principals are from art stream. Be it Dr. Jaya or Dr. Aziz, all are from art stream. And if you take the country, even most of the people are those who are senior administrators. Many parliamentarians are all from this this stream. So it is not a stream that is looked down upon. It has produced so many potential people to the country as well as to the community. Therefore, we thought people who have excelled in the field through art stream, we thought of bringing them to the children so that they can be more inspired. This program, Alhamdulillah, with the blessings of COVID, I would say, it has gone online. Usually, we used to conduct this program physically at the college. We bring engineers, doctors, or whoever who has excelled in this science field. We have brought them physically to the college and conduct the program. Now, with the advent of this COVID, the program has gone online. In a way, it's a blessing. We currently have people from all over the world. Dr. Akram is joining from the UK. Sheikh Altaf Farooq is joining from Saudi Arabia. Many more people. So, Alhamdulillah, let us make use of this, the blessings to guide our children who are interested to our shoulder. Art student, we don't differentiate among arts or commerce or science students. All our students, all they have their own potential. We cannot compare with one another. So with this idea only, I'm meeting them to inspire them. My dear boys, I would say gentlemen, in few years we are going to join, inshallah, at least half of you going to join ZUA and also other professional world. So let me welcome all of you, and including the teachers. I know some of the teachers from advanced level were they at school in the morning also for some other purpose on behalf of you. So I understand their commitment, being especially female teachers, not easy to work in the morning and the afternoon. With all this sacrifice, what we intend is to bring you forward, to give you hope, to instill some inspiration to you, so that you also will join and contribute to the society as well as the nation. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Radin Hassan, Deputy Principal, for delivering the welcome speech. And next, I would like to invite our keynote speaker and senior member of ZUA, Justice Dr. Salim Marzouf, LLB, LLM Colombo, LLM San Diego, LLD Colombo, President's Counsel, currently Judge of the Supreme Court of Fiji. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, and Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, everyone, including the principal who is yet to get online, but he will probably get in by the vice principal, deputy principal, and everyone else from the staff, and also the panelists, distinguished panelists with whom I just see Brother Fawzul Hamid, the Chairman Board of Governors, logging in, and yes, every one of you, and including the students of Zahira College. I feel back at home, back at college now. And I must say that I'm so happy that ZUA is taking this initiative, which is very, very important. I don't have much time, but let me say a few words about the origin of Zahira College, because it's relevant to the point that I want to make. You know that in 1892, we had a madrasa to Zahira, which later evolved into Zahira College. It was at a time when people in our community did not want to send the children to secular schools because they were afraid that they will get into bad un-Islamic context. And for that reason, they wanted to develop a school in the form of a madrasa. And I think that this was a good concept because it brings in what has been our heritage from the time of our Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. I must also say that when you look at the Holy Quran, you see that great impetus has been placed for human knowledge. And it has been very, very clearly stated. The first words that were revealed to our Holy Prophet was Iqra. That is, you read. And of course, the importance of the pen was also emphasized, saying that Allah taught you to use the pen and to extend knowledge with your pen. And people read and they learn. And it's very important for development of mankind as well as for development of spiritual well-being. Having said that, let me also say that in the Holy Quran, one of the important features is that there is no compartmentalization of knowledge, either as material or secular knowledge on the one hand, and spiritual knowledge on the other hand, because everything is there in the Holy Quran. And also, there is no compartmentalization as science, arts, commerce. All these things are included in the Holy Quran. The Holy Quran is a comprehensive book that has been given to us. And we have lots of things, everything almost that we need for survival, for our development, for not only this world, and also for Ahira as well. And I noticed that just you take Z out of Zahira and you come to Ahira. So we have to always have in mind the Ahira as well. And spiritual knowledge is very important. Now the Zahira College has put together the secular knowledge, worldly knowledge, and spiritual knowledge. And everything is there, as in the Holy Quran. And when we just see that how we have developed from the time of the Holy Prophet and thereafter, we have gone on very well. In fact, we established the Islamic civilization, which has blossomed very much and then deteriorated for whatever reasons which we can identify. But what is important is that all those people who have excelled as people of intellect in the Islamic society, they had comprehensive knowledge almost of everything. If you take one person like Ibn Sina, or known as Avicenna, he is one man who had learned the Holy Quran by heart by the age of 10, and then he started studying various things. He worked with a man who was a kind of a doctor, and he did many other things, like he learned the fiqh, for instance. He developed himself spiritually, and also he studied medicine, and he became a great physician. And his books that he had been writing, particularly the Canon of Medicine, or Al-Qanun, was a textbook in European universities for 2 or 3 centuries, till perhaps the 18th century. And even now it's used in various types of medicine, like Unani medicine, for instance. But what is very important is that we can't compartmentalize knowledge. We can't compartmentalize education. Everything, Islam provides a holistic approach to education. And therefore, I think it's only for convenience that we have divided into art stream, science stream. And apart from that, one of the things that I just wanted to share with my fellow students, I still continue to be a student. Lawyers continue to be students so long as they live. And what I want to tell to all these students is simply this, that there is no end to knowledge. There is no compartmentalization of knowledge. And from the very beginning, as a child, I was very curious about things. So I started learning about everything. I started looking at the stars, looking at the moon, looking at various objects, looking at the sea, looking at various things. And I, in fact, was scientifically inclined. And up to the 8th standard where I studied, I got high marks for science, for mathematics, etc. And when I decided to do arts at the 9th standard onwards for the O-level, my teachers were scolding me. In fact, they found fault with me for making that change, for the reason that they said, you have done so well in science. Why are you trying to do arts? Then I said, no, I want to do law. The reason why I want to do arts is for me to do law, because that's the only way in which I can do law. And so then my teachers agreed. And then when I came to Zahira, I was in the art stream. And I met many friends and I learned a lot from them. I had good teachers. But at some point of time, I decided to leave Zahira also, because Zahira College had been taken over at that time. Standards are not very high. So I thought that I will, after my O-level, after I did the O-level from Zahira College, and then I decided to go to Royal College. From there, I entered the university. And in a way, that was good. But what is very important to say is that studying arts is something that you decide to do, you want to do. That is your dream sometimes, and you must understand that. And having said that, I also want to say that Islam has taught us time management. And for now, although we become very curious, we get into social media, we get into WhatsApp groups, we get into Facebook, etc. But we must manage our time. And our Prophet has taught us how to manage our time. And our Prophet was a great person who realized that time is precious. When you waste time, you can't get it back. And then you have to make optimum use of your time. But having said that, I think the Prophet also managed his time. He taught us how to manage our time. And we have a lot to learn from the Prophet and his Sunnah. Now, I just also wanted to emphasize something else. Why I made the decision to do arts was because I wanted to do law. Why I wanted to do law? Because I thought, well, I really wanted to earn money and be a practitioner of law, like Perry Mason. I used to read a lot of Perry Mason stories. But later on, I decided in a different way. My life went on in a different way. Now, people think that sometimes it's very difficult to get parents to agree to allow their sons or daughters to do law. They say lawyers are liars, for instance. But then I found myself thinking to myself that I have to do an honest job. And you can be a lawyer, you can be a judge without being a liar. It's some of those very important things that I want to stress for parents as well in deciding to do law, for instance. And law is not the only way you can go. When you do arts, you can do management, you can do commerce, you can do administration, you can do travel, you can do accountancy, law, psychology, many other things, and you can do politics. And as it was said by the vice principal, that there are many who are in parliament, who are in very important positions, who are lawyers. And I just didn't want to confine myself to this topic of legal education, because I find that in the panel we have another lawyer, so he can also speak about it. But what I say is that we have to have a holistic approach to our study. We should not confine. Now, I didn't confine myself to law. I went on to study management. I studied economics. In Royal College, when I was waiting for my A-level results, and I had done geography, history, English, and government, for my repeat, I just went to a class where I studied, instead of English Sinhalese, I studied economics, I studied logic and ethics. Those were the subjects, and my principal told me, if you fail first time, you have to do these new subjects. I said, okay. And then, alhamdulillah, I got through first try. And then I learned economics, for instance, learned Sinhalese. And that was very useful throughout my life. One thing I learned at Zahira, which I will never forget, is that I went to the typewriting class and I said, I want to do typing. They said, no, you're not a commerce student, you can't do typing. Then I went up to the principal and said, I want to do typing. The typing I learned at Zahira College, I still use on my computers. That skill has not left me. I owe that to Zahira College as well. So just a few words of inspiration. I just want to tell you that education is very important, but it is, and it's not an end, it's a means to an end. And we have through our education, bring about a great, good society, a community which will be respected, a community will be doing very well. And all those things, only a person who's doing arts can do. Person who has the knowledge of arts. And I think that even those who do science, like medicine or any other subjects, they also have to look at what is included in the stream of arts, and they have to read widely. I think that this holistic approach, which is shown by the Quran, is very important. So thank you very much for requesting me to make the keynote address. I don't know whether I have exceeded the time, but thank you very much for listening to me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Jazakallah khairan for your wonderful speech and valuable words. So, are you in Colombo or Fiji right now, sir? So, I cannot hear you, sir. Can you unmute, please?
Yeah, at the moment, I'm not in Fiji or in Sri Lanka. I'm in between. I'm in Singapore.
MashaAllah. Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir. Jazakallah khairan for your motivational words and also sharing your memories with Zahira College. And inshallah, we would like to go for the next event. So before we go for our next event, I would like to hear a few words from our chairman, Mr. Fawzul Hamid. Sir, over to you, sir.
Thank you, everyone. Assalamu alaikum. I see Zua doing a great job. I think credit should go to the principal and the team. Actually, for the boys who are following this, it's amazing things. And I think try and focus and write down. And now I was just listening to Justice Salim Mausuf. See, their stories are amazing stories, inspiring stories. So, I mean, please focus on this and take some notes. Definitely you're going to reach your goal. So once again, thank you, Zua. Thank you, everyone who is part of this. Special thanks goes to our guest speakers. I mean, you all are inspiring these boys. I mean, you all are like role model. Nothing to, I mean, actually the program is called role model. So I'm certainly proud because this is what Zahira has to be, and we are trying to raise the bar of the college. And this is how you raise the bar, because when this type of caliber comes and rally around, I mean, the children get inspired, because you all know that school went down for almost 50 years, because now we are gathering, we are bringing everybody together. So let's work together, move together, and raise the bar of the school, and let's support the school. Once again, thank you, everyone. May Allah bless you all. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you.
Alaikum salam. Thank you, sir, for your valuable words. And I would like to go to our next event, and let's go for the main event right now. And let me introduce our moderator, Dr. Akram Muhammad. Okay, yeah. I would like to introduce our moderator, Dr. Akram Muhammad, consultant in NATC in UK and television host in INTV, Health Talk with Dr. Akram and Health Talk with Dr. Akram YouTube channel. So he is one of our main active member in ZUA as well. And most of our participants might know him very well. So without delay, I would like to welcome Dr. Akram to take in charge. Over to you, Doctor.
Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum. Dear Principal, Vice Principal, Member of Board of Governors, Justice Salim Mausuf, and all other ZUA members, and especially the students. It's my pleasure to be here and to run this program today. And in the end, we're going to go home with lots of message and lots of tips for you to take home and take to your future. That's my aim today. Okay, are we going to be together? Okay, let's talk. Why is this arts medium important? I think we had heard a few things from Justice Salim Mausuf. He has already pointed out how much you can do with art stream, and we're going to go more and talk more about this in the future. And I will also time to time talk a few things about arts, and I will tell two stories as well, two successful stories, and they are also from art streams. And before we're going to go ahead with that, let's welcome our next speaker, Major Rushdi Hamim. Thank you very much for being with us in this show. I could see your office. It looks very nice behind.
Thank you very much for your kind words.
Okay, you have to show us, show our students and see why the military section is really important, because we don't have any Muslim people in the army. I have volunteered for army a few times during the war, and that was it was a really good time I had with the army. So I have lots of pleasant memories, and I want to share your memories with our students. Thank you very much. Please go ahead with your speech.
Thank you. Yeah, so you want me to introduce, about my military life, or starting from my school days onwards? Like, how did I reach here?
As you like. We would like to hear both.
Yeah, so thank you. And thanks for inviting me for this program, first of all. And then first, like I say, I got the opportunity to study in Zahira College. Like, I was offered a scholarship because I got through the grade 5 scholarship exams, and afterwards I had to thank then Principal Dr. Javed Yusuf for giving me that opportunity also. So afterwards, I just moving on with my, I don't want to drag my speech. So I would say, summarize, like I did, after I completed my O-levels, I chose art stream. I had fairly good grades, so I could have done mathematics, biology, or whatever. But I chose arts because going back to what Justice said, that he wanted to become a lawyer. So I had the same ambition. Since I'm from a family which my father was in the army and my two brothers are also in the army. So actually I came from military background, military family. So in my blood it was there. I was always inspired to join the army. But then again, I thought, because my two brothers are in the army at that time and my father had been in the army, so I thought to approach a different, take a different path. So, but then again, maybe it's fate, or we can call something. Like I sat for law entrance examinations, but I couldn't go. I didn't sit, but I applied, but I couldn't sit for the exams. But then again, because I applied to the army, and then I got the chance to join Sri Lanka Army as an officer cadet. So for 2.5 years, I took part in the training. So and also with my training, I was offered a Bachelor of Science degree in military science. So and afterwards, I passed. We call it passing out. So I passed out from my academy, like as a second lieutenant back in 2005 December. And then just as I came to my unit, then actually it was peacetime when I passed out from my training. But as I joined my battalion, the war started on 2006. So from there onwards until 2009, May 19, I took part in the operational duties as well. So I took part in various operations, because though I was selected for communications, but because need of that time, they wanted me also to perform infantry duties. So basically, I was, as an infantry officer, I was in charge of a platoon, then a company. So rather, I was commanding about 100 troops under me. So luckily, the war ended in 2009. Then I got opportunity to train to go on various foreign courses, and I got the chance to discharge my duties in United Nations peacekeeping force. So I was deployed in Haiti in 2013. So currently, I'm performing my duties in Kilinochchi area. So that's basically about me. I think it will suffice.
Okay, thank you very much. Do you have anything else to say, or we go ahead with the program?
I think if it's enough, yeah.
It's very good. Okay, let me tell, because this is really important as well. I was working in Colombo as a doctor by then during the war. Oh, before that, actually, my first appointment after my internship was in Mana. That's an island nation. That's during the war. So our hospital was in between the army camp. One side, the other side was the LTT. So Thaladi and the other side. So my first noises, what I heard in Mana was the shelling each other in the night. And we were in between. And in the night, the brigadier sent us a chain car was made of Rolls-Royce engine. And that invited us to Thaladi camp for a party. For all our doctors, about 10 of us, we worked in Mana. That was our first job, and we went, and they really warmly welcomed us. And every army officer sang songs, and they forced us to sing some as well. It was really good memory with army, and after that we worked very close with them for during our time in Mana. And after that, during the war, me and Ramali also, I think, would have been to the Anuradhapura military hospital. We did lots of times. We looked after the injured soldiers and civilians. So it's a really pleasant memory. And I want lots of our kids to join army and other police forces. And we're going to go forward with and asking if the principal would like to join and say something about this. Hello, Principal sir.
Assalamualaikum, Dr. Akram. And sorry, I couldn't, because of a device issue, I could not come on time. And I would like to thank, first of all, Chairman Board of Governors, and then Justice Salim Masuf. I was listening to him, and then Major Rushdie and Dr. Akram, you have just started moderating. I wanted to ask a question from Major Rushdie. Now, with regard to the armed forces, where the Zahirians are concerned, how many of them have joined the war during the period of war, and how many of them are at the moment actively involved in the armed forces? Do you have any sort of calculation in that? That is my first question. And then we are also planning to put up a small monument just to show that how the Zahirians who joined the armed forces and then they laid down for the sake of the country. So the contribution of the Muslim community at large, and also as a school, how much we have contributed to the war is something that we need to record. So can Major Rushdie tell us something on that line?
So thank you, sir, for that question. In fact, I can't say that I know much regarding the past, but I can say a few words contemporary. Like now, my brother also is a Zahirian, so my second elder brother. So he also is a lieutenant colonel in the army, he's still serving. So so he was also, I mean, he joined the army 7 years before me. So he has more experience in war than me. And also after he joined, he was a prefect, a sub-prefect, and he had two best friends in the college. And they also joined the next batch after he joined the army. So this was, I think they were in A-level 94, 95 batch. So one is Ibrahim and Colonel Antar. So actually, I would like to say a few words regarding Colonel Tremosa, because he is now he was wounded in battle, and now he is paralyzed, and he is still he's getting treated for his injuries in Middlesex, Colombo. So as far as I know, myself and my brother, and there are two other officers who are currently serving in the army. But regarding the past, officers who had served in the past, not that I don't have much information regarding that.
There is one of my classmates. He's also joined the army. He's called Amirullah Khan. He was in the army nursing department. He worked his way through, and he retired, and he works in Saudi Arabia now as a nurse.
Dr. Akram, with your permission, I would like to suggest the Zua that we should record and collect the information of Zahirians as to how many are and actively involved at the moment, and how many died for the sake of the country while engaged in their duties. So that information is going to be very vital at a time of the most important crucial time like this. And then like any other school, good schools who are also proud of these people who are serving the nation and to protect and safeguard the country, we should also put up a monument. Maybe ZUA can take that initiative as well. So I would like to suggest. And then I'm very happy that ZUA is taking this role model program into the art stream students, because arts is also something that we think that people are not very much interested without knowing the importance of this stream. And there are very many personalities, good personalities have come up through this stream. So we have to, I think, emphasize this fact in this particular discussion. I don't want to take much of the valuable time. I would like to conclude and by thanking all of you, and over to you, Dr. Akram, to continue.
Dear principal, and
something.
please go ahead, Salim Marsuf. Yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that it's not only the army. There are other forces, and I think when we erect a monument and remember, we have to remember the others in the other services also, because I think there is a perception among the non-Muslims that the Muslims don't want to join the forces. And so without singling out only the army, we should, I think the principal mentioned army because
all armed forces.
Yeah, all the armed forces should be mentioned.
That's fine.
That's a very good idea. I think it's a really fruitful suggestion from the principal. And thank you for Major Rushdie and Salim Marsuf. Thank you again. Azri, we have something on board. And I think ZUA members must be excited. And we have our Board of Governors Chairman as well, Mr. Fawzi.
Doctor?
Yeah.
Chairman has already delivered his speech previously.
Okay, so that's fine. So we'll plan
Doctor,
for this monument, Azri, yeah?
Doctor, with your permission, I just want to share something with regarding the army. Currently, we have one student, his name is Marshad. Currently, he is in the John Kotharavala Defense University, and currently he is involving in the army field. He's studying, he wants to be an army, and he is the best top currently based on the Z score. GP, University GP. He is the best performing student in the John Kotharavala University right now. So I just want to share that with you, Dr.
Thank you very much. We will plan about this monument. That's really important for our school. I think we need to support these people, and we need to bring them into prominence. Yeah, they worked for our school and for our country. Okay, next program, next talk, we're going to go to Hamdan Hussain. He's a lawyer, and he's a very young lawyer. Hamdan Hussain is up. The panel's to you, and please go ahead and talk. Thank you. Hamdan Hussain, we can't hear you. Are your mic on? Your mic being switched on, but I can't see. We can't hear you. Azri, can you hear him?
We can't hear you.
We can't hear, isn't it?
Can you remove your mic?
Remove the mic and try, please. Try, please.
Is it okay now?
Yeah, we can hear you without mic.
Is it okay? Can you all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear. Please go ahead. Yes.
Is it okay? Hope everyone can hear me.
Yes, Hamdan Hussain,
okay.
Please go ahead and talk. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Doctor. Assalamu alaikum and good evening, Salim Marsuf sir, Rushdie sir, Principal sir, Deputy Principal sir, Fawzul Hamid sir, all the teachers, distinguished members of this forum, and my beloved students of my school. Good evening and Assalamu alaikum. First and foremost, I would like to thank the ZUA and all its members for giving me an opportunity to share a few words about me, about my school life. Thank you very much. I seek permission from you all to share a few words, and take a few minutes of your valuable time. First, I would like to say that fact which I am very proud of is that my primary and secondary education, which is to say, since grade 1, I have studied at Zahira College, Colombo, which fact I'm very proud of. And to say the least, I wasn't much interested in education. My academics were, to be honest, my academics were poor until grade 10. Grade 10, it was really poor. So I was much interested in sports. I went on to captain the school cricket team as well. So my passion was to be a cricketer. I played really good cricket. So I was hoping to be a cricketer, but at some point of time, I decided it is not my field. So it cannot be my profession. So since grade 1, I studied in English medium. I was in one class. There was only one class at that time. There was only one English medium class. Now I think there are several classes as 1EA, 1EBC, up to JK. There are so many classes. But during our time, there was only one class, 1E. So until A-level, until I completed my A-level, it was so. So basically, what motivated me to do law is, to be honest, is that I wanted to work alone. That is what motivated me to do law at first, because subsequent to my advanced level, I joined a BPO company. I worked there for like 3 or 4 months. So at that time, it was very difficult for me to get holidays. So that may be a primary reason why I wanted to do law. And because as a lawyer, that is what I'm doing now. I can take leaves, holidays whenever I want to. If I am working under another person, it cannot be so. I have to give them prior notice. But in my profession, when I am practicing as a lawyer, I can go to office whenever I want to, and I have that freedom. So it was one of the main reasons that which motivated me to do law. So, but maybe until grade 10, I wasn't much interested in academics. So after grade 10, maybe grade 11, that is the second year of O-level, I started to study. So, and I got a very decent result, not that good result. So after that, I did my advanced level examinations. So, and in that year, I was awarded the best all-round student of the year 2012 because of my academics and extracurricular activities. To say the least, I was a senior prefect at school, and I was heavily involved in all the clubs and other societies. But cricket was my passion at that time. Even then, I was playing cricket, and till I am playing even for the lawyers team. I am playing now. Even today, I had a match. So today we had a match with the Architects. So what I want to say is that you should keep studies, education in the first place. That is what I learned from my school, because there are friends of mine who played cricket with me, who were heavily involved in sports, but I think I am in a much better position than them because of my education. So what I want to say, my advice is that other things comes after education. You should keep your studies first, then comes everything else. So that would be my advice to everyone who is listening, because I followed this advice at a very later time, but fortunately, thank God, but thanks to God, I'm in a good position, alhamdulillah. So that is what I wanted to communicate to everyone. So please give preference to your studies. It will take you to a place which you would never imagine. Thank you for giving me an opportunity. Over to you, Mr. Akram.
Hamdan Hussain, that's a really informative speech. And we really like that you came honestly and told what happened to you. And this is really good for our students who are in your position now. And yeah, it's not just to be a student, just to do what you like to do. And you have to be smart. And you have done that smartly, and that worked, because arts is a smart medium. Science is a tough medium. Maths is a tough medium. So if you want to be smart and achieve in your future, arts is one of the best place. I think principal is agreeing with me. I think, would you like to say anything here, dear principal?
Yeah, I think the many people now, even the judges and the economists and central bank governors, and if you take, I mean, decision makers are the people who came from the art stream. So art stream has a big value, which it is nowadays underestimated by some reason. So it is up to the teachers and also the academics and the distinguished old boys like these members will have to inspire the students.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much. Are there anyone to add, or otherwise I'm going to read? I have done some research over yesterday and found out the jobs art stream can do. Administrative jobs, Sri Lanka administrative jobs like SAS, SIS, Sri Lankan International, where they work as diplomats, ministers, they can work as in missions and regional governments, central governments. In art stream, as artists, they can work in film production. We don't have any Muslims there. Music production, do we have any serious Muslims? Not many. And music directors, TV directors, TV producers, TV presenters, of course, and teaching. You could be a teacher, vice principal, principal, regional boards, educational directors. And as in the sports section, if you want to go ahead, you could be a sports teacher and you could work in the sports ministry. And of course, you could achieve more as a sportsman going to a university. That's really important, because otherwise, if you just do your cricket and you stop there, A levels finished, you are out. Either you're going to PETA, you're going to somewhere else, or Middle East, and your career ends there. You join a university, an easy university, that gives you another few years, and that of course give you a better chance. And once you are in university, you could do more sports and you could achieve even as a sportsman. Politicals, jobs in parliament, most of the parliamentarians have done arts. And other offices, I would like to say here, identity card office, most of the staff are from arts. Passport office, RMP or the transport office, then the foreign services, as I said, customs, airport, ports, nature reserves, energy company, electric companies, telephone companies. How many jobs do you have in our stream? So if you have done medicine, how many jobs you have? You can work only as a doctor. If you have done engineering, you could work only as an engineer. Of course, you can even join army as if you're a graduate, you can join as a captain, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you are going ahead from halfway through. So art stream is the best stream, guys. So be happy. Asri, would you like to say anything here?
Dr. Akram, I just want to tell one point. One of our ZUA member, Professor Ismail, he is the former Vice Chancellor of Eastern University. He is also Zahirian, and he has done arts. I recently got to know he also has done arts from our college. So I just want to tell about it.
Oh, that's great, Asri. Salim.
I think that one of the important things, two things that were pointed out. One is firstly that you have to have sports going along with education. And I think we just heard a lawyer talking about it. And that was very inspiring speech, I must say. And it is very easy to get scholarships to do higher studies in the art stream if we have a all-round abilities, like for instance, leadership qualities. And included in leadership policies are the sports and captaincy in some sport and that kind of thing. And also associations, organizations, management habits, youth organizations and that kind of thing. Are added as points to get scholarships. So it is something that we should have in mind. That's point number one. And point number two is whoever who does arts or medicine or anything should also be interdisciplinary. They must have an interdisciplinary approach to studies. And I feel that, look at Dr. Mahmood, he is speaking better than a lawyer, I must say, and he has a very good ability to express himself. Now, he is an anesthetist, and I thought that all that he can do is when we are about to do a surgery to put us numb so that we will be not saying anything to the doctor. But he is just the opposite, he's stimulating thought. And this comes from the interdisciplinary approach because you didn't stick to your medicine or anything. You did other things, and that is seen in the way you conduct yourself. And congratulations. And I feel very happy to see you giving this message through your conduct, your language, body language, so to speak. So it's very important. So we should develop interdisciplinary. For instance, I would say that when you are now doing arts, say anything in arts, even I don't know if the architecture comes now in arts or it fits in arts, I think. Then now they do it online.
Yes,
they do it online. They do things through the computer. They have become illiterate or illiterate. So that's very important. That is very important in all fields. We have to be having a little bit of this and that and the other, and add spice and salt, maybe pepper, to our curries.
Thank you very much, Justice Salim Marsuf. It's a really inspirational suggestion you brought. Asri, have you got a little bit time here to say two successful stories about art students?
We can do that, no issue.
Okay, would you like to play that small video?
Just give me a second, doctor.
Okay.
Can you watch this video, doctor?
Yes, yeah. Perfect.
Okay,
okay, let's go back to the panel, yeah. Okay, that video taken, I think you could see, I think on recently, a few days back by my nephew, actually. And that person's name is Cyril, and he comes and works because we live in a Muslim village. I'm from Galhina, in somewhere in the Kandy district. And my parents' house, and this guy, Cyril, comes and clean our gardens, and he works in that area. So he is still working, very happy person. He's been living around us for all our life. And recently I received a call from someone from my next door neighbor, Hawaji. He works in Malaysia, and he is working in Malaysia. He for last few years or something like that, but he's an illegal worker. So Pawaji hasn't got any visa or anything. He works in a restaurant. So recently Pawaji called me and he said, you know what? Cyril's son called me. I said, what's Cyril's son doing there? I was thinking in my mind, even I forgot that he went to the university. I thought he must be just gone there to do an illegal job or something. And said, what is he doing there? Oh, well, he is the second in command in the Sri Lankan embassy in Malaysia. So the father is working still in the field, and the son has reached that level in one generation. And the story behind is Cyril's son studied in a normal Sinhalese school around the village. And he, of course, went to art stream, and he got selected. He worked in some different places in Kacheri. He went through high up. It looked like he would have done the SLIS, International Services Exam, and he excelled through, and he is working in the Malaysian embassy, where he used to work for Pawaji and clean their garden about maybe 5-6 years ago when he was student still, because I could remember when we had big work, like, when you put concrete, a lot of workers come around from our neighboring villages, then come and help us for the money. And he used to come during the holidays and he used to work us. So that guy he's the embassy big boss, and Pawaji is still an illegal worker. He's from our village. So that is an excellent example. And I am so proud to show this video. This Cyril is still working in the field. What it shows, the father hasn't changed his lifestyle. He hasn't started wearing iron shirt and sitting down and developing diabetes and heart disease and everything. He is still working and enjoying the life. He comes to our junction every afternoon and comes and chat with our people. Muslim people are mostly around there. And he's very good. Whenever I go, he comes to our house and he said, Mahatya Kawadave. And, you know, he shares few words. It's an example which I want you students to learn and go ahead with this. That's one of the very good example of success in our stream. And the second one is my cousin. He works as an educational minister, one of the directors. His name is Zamil. So we all grown up together. He went to Nalimia and he studied in Nalimia. When he finished Nalimia, he did arts as an external subject in Peradeniya University. Then he was a teacher. While he was teaching, he did this administrative exam. He excelled through and he works as a director in the education sector. He worked in the passport office, he did the ID office, in lots of office. And that's also again an art stream student. So life, there's a lot. You just need ambition to go ahead. Anyone, I think Justice Salim Marsuf would like to add some words there, I could see.
No, I was tempted to say this. When you showed the place where that gentleman was working, in a paddy field-like place, I was reminded of a saying that you need two things in life. One is a library and the other is a garden. Because library is very important for you to read. How much you read in the computers through internet, etc. Nothing like reading the books which have wisdom inbuilt. And the other thing is the garden. I think Maharagama is a place where now we have the Zahira College farm. Now, the agricultural projects that can be done there will be for export. Because agriculture is now something that will bring money, not only locally, but we can export the items. And for that, we need marketing. And for marketing, you need IT. So you can see agriculture connected to arts, connected to IT, and then we can't compartmentalize. This is the point that I have been making throughout, that we need to get involved in this process. I think the Zahira College, the Maharagama property should be used to take the Zahira College children once in a way at least to see how these agricultural projects are being done, because that will give another kind of input for them. So the point is that we should, in fact, long ago I met Professor Krishna Menon in India, one of the leading, who started the Bangalore School of Law. And Krishna Menon was saying that how he was doing the Bangalore School of Law was that if there was a crisis, now we have a crisis in Passara now, they say that two fools are needed to make an accident. And there were unfortunately, two fools at the same time. One fellow didn't give way and the other fellow came and tried to go in that narrow gap, and the bus fell. 13 people or so have died already. And now the thing is that we need to learn from these things, and these things are shown all over, and we have to learn that survival, taking care and being considerate for the others, showing the way. Now, if the first vehicle had stopped near the place where there was an obstruction, then the other bus would have gone without meeting with that accident. So we have to learn how to show courtesy, how to show kindness, how to be courteous to other road users, and all these things are also essential part of education. Not only book learning, not only gardening, and although I just came out with that, but we have to have a whole, full education, and that is in the Holy Quran.
Thank you very much, Justice Salim Marsuf. It's very inspirational again. Let's go to this question sessions now. This is really important. This question's been selected by the students who sent it to Azri. And is Dr. Salim here today?
Yes,
Azri?
Yes, Mr. Salim Marso.
Is it okay? It says Mr. Salim Marso. It says Dr. Salim, so that's why I thought. Okay, what are the way to study art stream subject? And some point how to remember what we studied and get prepared for the exam.
Well, I think studying art stream subjects does not mean that you confine yourself to those subjects, but you have to have an all round. I have always thought that we should go beyond the subject. We have to see the connectivities with the other subjects. That's one of the things. The other thing is that when we are doing art stream subjects, we should get interested. We should motivate ourselves, but we get motivated by being interested. Now, there was a time when I hated studying history. History was something I hated because I thought I had a bad memory, and that is so. Anyone who knows me well will say that, yes, Justice Masood had a very poor memory. Yes, that's good in a way because I forget all those wrongs others do to me, etc. That's a good thing. You forget all these things. But at the same time, memory is very important. You have to develop your memory. Now, I think that when I said something about Avicenna, Ibn Sina, he learned the Quran, memorized the Quran when he was very young. That gives you the ability to retain, ability to remember. So do those, practice those things. That is number one. Doing art streams. Then get interested in what you are doing. And do it in many ways. Look at videos relating to that same subject. For instance, if you have heard about, if you are doing some literature subject, then you can see the plays or see the films online. So get interested, get involved in that subject. I think those are the ways. And then to remember things, I think this is a very difficult task. But I think there are the 6 R's. Firstly, you read. That is the first R, read. Ikra is the Holy Quran. And the second thing is research. After you read something and get interested, then you start researching. You go on, you can go to Google and research. Otherwise, you go to a library, go to the relevant section, you can get help from the librarian. And the librarian will tell you where the books you are looking for are. Or you can find some other way. And also when you do these things, another thing you must remember, most of we work on the computer. So when we are learning things, we have to put them into folders on one subject and then put them into files in that so that we can easily access them. Every time we access them, we recollect. So the next point is that when we do research and get at certain sources, etc., we have read a little more, then we have to reflect on that. Reflect. That is the third R. Read, research, reflect on that and see how correctly. Be critical. Don't take it as a gullible man. You have to find, you have to be critical about it. You have to see what's wrong with what is said there. What is wrong with what this person says. You must be able to be critical of that. You don't take it as it is. Then that is very important for reflecting. And even what you do, you can reflect and maybe overnight you will get a different idea. Reflect. Then the third is, fourth is you keep on repeating what you can memorize, repeat. Those days when I was learning Kavi, I saw people doing ism and I wrote the Kavi with a fountain pen and then I started taking it on my tongue so that I'll remember the Kavi. Right? That is one way, like taking ism. But no, that doesn't work that way. You have to memorize. And very difficult words sometimes. I used to use those to scold somebody who does wrong to me. If I'm driving somewhere and then I'm learning a very difficult word, I come out with that word and scold him. Then it gives me a little happiness. And at the same time, that word is being remembered by me. So find some ways. You can paste those things on the fridge or somewhere. You can remember those words or points or whatever that you are trying to do. Then the next after that is after repeating, you have to recall. Forget about everything and try to recollect, but recall what you have been studying. So recollection is very important for examination performance. And then the last one is to revise. Whatever you have studied, you have to organize, revise, and do that. And then you will have a note or something like that, which you will have all the points there. When you go for the exam, you will be there. The other thing is that when you do athletics, you get into the momentum. When you're preparing for the Olympic Games, for instance, you don't go straight away and do everything. You improve your momentum little by little. And when you come to the day when you have to do the sprint or whatever the event in the Olympics, you will be in full stream. Like that, you have to plan it out for your examination so that by the time you reach the exam, you will be relaxed. Like some of our athletes who do the sprints, I have seen them how relaxed they are. So that is important for an examination. So time management is very important. Divide the time between sports and studies, for instance. You can do the way you want. You can give more this way or that way, but plan it out. So those are my thoughts about remembering and recollecting and things like that.
Thank you very much. That's a really good answer. I think lots of students remember what you said. I think 10 things, isn't it? It's as you said.
No, I had only six.
Six. Okay, six. Six mantras to remember. Okay.
Yeah, read, research, reflect, repeat, recall, and revise.
Perfect. 6. That will definitely take you through there. Yeah, just be prepared well and you will do well. Okay, next question. How to pass AL examination with 3 A's? Hamdan, please.
Thank you, Doctor. Hope you all can hear me. Doctor, to answer that question, I can use one word to answer this question. It would be sacrifice. I will elaborate on it.
Yes,
so we know that each person has been gifted with different skills, different potential, different abilities. So everyone knows that all the 30 or 40 students in the class are not the same. God has given them different levels of understandings, learning abilities, capabilities, everything. So about me, I was a hard worker, not a smart worker, and neither was I talented much. This is with regard to my studies. I was a talented sportsman. That was what God had given me. So I had to work hard to get a good result. I had to work very hard. So there are few people who can do it very smart work. They can spend less time in studying, but their outcome would be more. There are few people who do not even have to spend time on studying, but they can get amazing results. So that we should understand our level, where we stand. We should understand our capabilities. I was very hard worker. I had to study like 10 to 12 hours a day to get a good result. Alhamdulillah, I got a good result. That is through hard work. So I would say sacrifice is a primary reason for me to get my good results. So I had to sacrifice my cricket. I had to leave cricket 6 months prior to my examinations. I completely got rid of cricket. So the school authorities, the cricket authorities, they were basically begging me to come, but I didn't want to because my father also didn't like me involved in sports. So I sacrificed my cricket. Cricket was my passion, but I had to sacrifice it for a better good. So then I had to allocate all my time. I had to sacrifice my time with my friends, which I spent with my friends, which I spent with my family. So I was very confined to studies only. So I would say you should sacrifice whatever your passions is, whatever your likings. If you sacrifice it, definitely you will be able to, God will itself make you a better person, make you learn everything and make you understand everything, make it easy. Your path will be easy if you sacrifice the other things. So our duty as a A-level student was to study. Our primary duty is to study. So when you are going on that path, we have to sacrifice all other things. So I would say that if you have other activities, if you are engaged in other curriculums, then I would say you should sacrifice all those for the time being. You should sacrifice all those for your better future, I would say. So basically, sacrifice to propel in your studies, you should sacrifice all other things. Studies should come first. That's my advice to everyone.
Thank you very much, Hamdan. That's really good. You know what I would like to say here? I keep telling it to my son and my nephews and nieces. In A-level, you got 2 years. You sacrifice your pleasure, but the 2 years, then you will have everlasting pleasure.
Yes, definitely.
So if you study hard in that A-level and you got through to the university, then whatever you post there, you can enjoy much better more. But if you keep enjoying that 2 years, having fun, and afterwards you will not have any fun. You will end up in Peta market, or you'll end up in Saudi Arabia washing toilets, or maybe if your father or somebody has a good business, you will be running that business. So it's up to you guys to work smart and choose what you want. I think we can't tell you more than that. Yeah, of course, yes.
Yes. Now I'm reminded of my own life story. When I came to Zahira, I came to learn, study, but ultimately I found that the standard of education was not very high at that time because Zahira had been taken over. There were lots of issues, no teachers. The teacher comes and tells you do this class, and so many times I have been asked to do the class. And then I was doing a little sports. I played under 17 rugby with Mr. Mohla, he was the coach at that time. And I did athletics. And then when I got the O-level results, someone told me they are taking kids to Royal College. So I went to Royal. I didn't have so many distinctions to enter Royal College. So when I went there, I was determined to enter Royal College. When I went there, I had to go to the deputy principal, who was known as Mr. Dias, to his room. And he asked how many distinctions. So he said, no, we can't take you. And then I said, last match you lost by 2 points. If you have a place kicker like me, you will be able to win rugby matches. He got very angry and he bodily threw me out. And then when I was outside in the corridor, one teacher who was inside came and asked me, oh, you want to join Royal very badly. Why do you want to join? Then I said, well, I have been studying in these schools and now I want to come to the best school of all. Oh, any other reason? Then I said, yes, from Royal College, over the wall, you can go to the law faculty. It's very close by. Oh, so that's an excellent reason. You come with me, and he took me to the principal, who happened to be Bogoda Premaratna at that time. And he told, this boy is excellent. He has to be taken. He doesn't have distinctions. So he wrote a note and said, put my name in and said, admit. And I went to the same Mr. Dias, who had to admit me to school. And when I entered Royal College, what I did was, I did not try to play rugby. I went for a few practice sessions. I found that there was no chance of my getting into the team because Royal College has their old catchers, parents coming in and trying to get their children in and all that. I did not want to compete. I focused on studies and did well to enter law faculty. And then it was just plain sailing, as you said. 2 years you sacrifice. So I had to sacrifice the sports also. I fully endorse that we have to give in somewhere so that we give full commitment to what we are trying to achieve. And thereafter it's plain sailing.
Thank you very much. Okay, I'm going to pass one more question to Major Maven. This is about inspirational, motivational advice, the profit of arts. If you could say in few words.
Yeah, so I think half of the answer has been already covered by Dr. Salim and also Dr. Akram, because by mentioning that there are, I mean, if you speak the profit or the benefits with regards to a career, like career in the future. So as per careers, I mean, like the Dr. Akram mentioned, there are so many, I mean, vast area which you could move through. So that's one side. But what I feel for me, like, from my personal life, what I see by studying arts, what I achieved more than a career is knowledge and wisdom. I think because like there are so many areas in the field of arts. So you can you know you can learn so many things. I mean, you can educate yourself and you can accumulate knowledge, and thereby you can be a much more wiser man. Because, and like if you choose, I mean, I'm not speaking low, I mean, negative about science field or mathematics or anything, but it's a bit very specific and say like it's very difficult to move out of the subjects. I mean, what I feel like if you are in arts field, I mean, because like Dr. Akram said, it's a smart field because I mean you don't have to study that hard, right? And you don't have to be much. You don't. The concentration is less, I mean, comparatively. So I mean, so that enables you to absorb more of like various other things as well. So that's what I did. Like I studied from art, like I did my A-levels in art field, and then when I joined the military, my degree was actually it's consistent with every subject. Like we had science, we had mathematics, we had management, we had psychology, we had arts, because there's a requirement for being officer, the prerequisites to become an army officer. So you need to be an all-rounder. So also then afterwards, then I felt that okay, I should be specialized in some field. So that's what I did for my master's. I did business administration. So my subjects which I did for A-levels was economics, Islam, and logic and scientific method. So then so I have big variety of subjects throughout my life. So I have completed like my basic degree, it was totally different subjects as well. And then in my master's, it was something. So I'm thinking to further enhance my knowledge and to do Master of Philosophy or doctorate or something. That's my next ambition. So what I feel is like if you want to think only with regards to your career, yes, there are so many career opportunities if you go through arts. And but what I would like to encourage you is to don't just restrict yourself. Like I'm doing this because I need to find a job or something like that. So that you are restricting yourself. But what I feel the best thing is like to accumulate knowledge. I mean, you can do a job or something. I mean, you might have skills or do something, but knowledge is something which you will not lose and you will gain, right? So I think studying in our stream enables you more to in the aspect of gaining knowledge, and also there are so many options which you can move along. So like if you say if you go to a direct profession, like if you become an accountant or I don't have anything against them, but like it's difficult to move out, right? So but branch out to other areas as well. You can, but I think it will be difficult. But if you like being in art field, yes, you can branch out to so many. There are so many options to you. So that's what I see from my view, that the profits of being in art stream or studying, following art stream.
Thank you very much. That's very interesting answer, Major. And Rush, now what we could do, actually, we are running out of time. Either we could go ahead, plan the program and we could finish it. And if the students still like, they could stay behind, and we will finish the rest of the questions with the remaining members here. Otherwise, shall we go ahead with like that, Hasri?
Doctor, we can go with another few more questions, and around 3 questions, and then we can open the session for our students to ask question and answers. Because
if any
questions are students are waiting to ask questions.
Yeah, that's good. I think we will go ahead with that. If any member there, because we have planned the program to finish at roughly this time, if you have any other commitments and you want to go ahead, there is no offense, you could go ahead. But if you like to stay with us, you're definitely welcome, and we would like your presence here. Anyway, let me go to the next question. Okay, here we go. Okay. Okay, again, things to do soon after the advanced level. Hamdan, please.
Thank you, Doctor. Doctor, I would say that you should explore yourself, because you have some time, some grace period maybe, because as soon as you are done with A-level, what I thought is that is life. That is the end of the hard or difficult period of life. But it was not. It was the beginning of my difficult period. After your school period, it is the most difficult phase in your life. School life is the best days in your life. The doctor also would be aware of it, because after A levels, you should explore yourself. Maybe go for an employment. Maybe there, through employment, you will learn a lot of things. First and foremost, you will learn the difficulties of your parents, how much they go through to provide you for, and you will know the difficulties of working with another person, working under a superior. So those things you will be aware of. Then those things might change you. It changed me, doctor. It changed me, because I didn't want to work under a person who under whom I was under the control of. I couldn't get holidays whenever I wanted to. So it was a primary factor which motivated me to do law. Because as a lawyer, my father is a lawyer. So as my father was a lawyer, I knew that he could go to his office whenever he wanted to. If he wanted to take holidays for a month, he could. No one would question him. So I also thought the same. Maybe I was wrong, or I cannot say about it. But it was a primary factor for me to choose law. So I think you should explore yourself. There are so many possibilities. You could go for an employment. You could search for some other courses, or you should first and foremost you should identify your capabilities and your interest. So I would say there's some amount of times there, around 3 to 4, 5 months, 6 months time until you get your advanced level result. Indeed, you have to have a break, because after the stressful exam. But in supplementation to that, you should also explore yourself. Go out and explore yourself. Go for an employment, or if you wish to carry on with your studies, attempt it. Do whatever you want. There is a 6 months period, 6 months of time. You can do whatever you want to, because after that period, then your clock starts to tick. So I would say that 6 month period or 5 month period is a very good time to explore yourself and identify all your potentials, all your capabilities, and identify all your opportunities that is there. So I would say that explore yourself, go out and explore yourself.
Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you very much. That's really a very good answer. And now I'm going to ask a really interesting question from the principal. I think it looked like the vice principal is here with us. Need to know about our AL exams. And meantime, I'm going to tell the students, if you have any questions, please post there, and Azri will choose, and he will bring you to the panel. So you could start putting your questions. You could text your questions, and let's see if we can answer everyone. Thank you.
I think my answer would be very brief. I won't take more than 2 minutes. For the time being, the information that we have got from the Commissioner General of Examination, that both GCE A-level as well as Grade 5 scholarship exam will not be conducted in August as usual. So they have said it has been postponed, but the definite date is not declared yet. The reason for this postponement is they're afraid that many schools haven't covered the syllabus. So I would say even last year we had almost similar atmosphere, but still the exam was conducted in October. I would say this year also maybe it won't be very long. In a couple of weeks after August, maybe 6 to 7 weeks before October it will be conducted. The situation compared to last year is not very serious, so therefore we don't have to think it will be postponed. We should not take an easier path. So let's commit to the course, and we'll be expecting the exam end of September or beginning of October. Thank you.
Thank you very much. If in the students panel, if you want to ask any questions, please you can raise your hand, isn't it, Asri? So we can give them an opportunity to answer and ask their questions.
Doctor, I think they might not ask right now because the program is on live streaming. We
Okay.
can, since we are running out of the time, we can go for the vote of thanks. And
Okay.
Doctor, meanwhile, our students, you can stay on program. I will like discontinuing the live stream after the vote of thanks. So you can open up your mic and you can ask the questions with our panelist or Dr. Akram or whoever you wish.
Okay, then that's a very good suggestion. Okay, let's go for vote of thanks. Will be proposed by Mr. A.M. Mihla, Vice Principal, Director, Zahira Center for Excellence. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's a matter of great pleasure to propose vote of thanks. First of all, I would like to take this opportunity to place on record our hearty thanks to Dr. Justice Salim Marsouf for being with us. He is a former member, Board of Governors. He has enlightened our students. Sir, you really inspired all of us in today's session. It was a very holistic approach, and you have introduced and identified new areas in the art stream. And also, I extend my thanks to Principal, Deputy Principal, Chairman, Board of Governors for their enormous cooperation. And I may like to express my sincere thanks to Sectional Head of Advanced Level, Mrs. Sriyani, and staff members Mirzana Faiz, Rafika Rafiq, Nasrun Nisa, Hilmi Imran, and Mr. Gauss, and all other staff members who joined today's session. And I'm always very thankful to our members of Zahira University alumni. They have been fortunate to be backed by our members of ZUA. Also, it was a great moment to listen to Major Rushdie Hamim. He inspired our students. It was a neglected segment. Most of our students, they were not aware about the opportunities available in the military forces. And it was a good opportunity to raise some questions related to a new area of studies. And our students, they got the idea it's not only a military, there are many areas of specialization. While they are working in the military forces, they can gain knowledge of different areas of specialization. And also, it was so nice of him to remember fellow colleagues, fellow Zahirians who contributed for the nation building. And Hamdan Hussein, a young lawyer who enjoyed his school career. And as a child, he enjoyed all areas of co-curricular activities, and he was among the outstanding students during his career who strike a balance between his studies and also sports activities. So we are very thankful to all the speakers who spend their valuable time, especially Dr. Justice Salim Marsouf, with the difference of time zones. Presently, he's living in Singapore, and Dr. Akram, the moderator, and he always contribute with his valuable thoughts and insights. And he's from United Kingdom, and Brother Altaf was the host of today's program from Saudi Arabia. So all of you to strengthen our dual relationship with fellow Zahirians. Thank you very much for being with us. So I am very thankful, and my sincere appreciation to all those who made today's event a success. Jazakumullah khairan. May Allah reward all of you.
Thank you very much, Mr. A.M. Mihla. That's before we close off the program, I'm going to remind you again, the program will run behind. So we'll officially close the live stream, and you can stay behind and ask any questions you like from anybody who is around. Or if we miss them, we can always post the questions to them and they'll come back to you. And the other thing, Azri, we have to remember about erecting the statue for the heroes of our school who participated in the war. That's also in our portfolio now. Okay, let's go for dua and salawat, please.
Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika asyhadu an la ilaha illa anta wa Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. All our students, I'm going to disconnect